All right, so we're gonna make some potato soup for dinner. I don't want a big pan, do I? Sure, why not? Just make it a little faster, won't we? That's my split pea soup for lunch. All right, we need some oil here. I'm gonna saute some potatoes so that they retain some of their texture and flavor and they don't break down quite as quickly. Okay, so usually I use a mix of potatoes. I usually use russet yellow and red potatoes, but I had way too many, I have oil all over my fingers. I had way too many yellow potatoes left when I went grocery shopping to really justify buying russet potatoes and red potatoes because they'll just go bad. So we're gonna go ahead and use up as many yellow potatoes as I can. Okay, so let's see here. We're gonna need a pot. Yeah, this is the one I like. While I'm cutting these, I'm going to get the oil melting. With some oregano and some garlic. Oh, look at these choppers. I don't know about that one. We're going to cut off that gross part for surezies. So now I'm going to let the oil melt with the garlic and oregano in there while I'm cutting these potatoes. So the bigger ones I'm going to cut up and throw straight into the pot so that they disintegrate into the stock. This little guy's pretty cute. We're going to save him for the pan. I don't want any pieces too big that I put in the pan because those I'm hoping stay together a little bit. And I don't want huge chunks of potato in my mouth. And now that the oil is melted, I'm going to go ahead and start throwing them in the pan as I'm cutting them so that I can determine how many I'm going to cut. Okay, and I don't want to double up my layers at all, so once I fill the bottom of the pan up, then I'm going to go ahead and call it good. And I need onions. I want to thinly slice these onions. Toss those in with the potatoes. not in the pan. Those guys are doing their own thing. And then I want some tomato chunks in here as well. So I'm going to use the other half of the tomato that I used for split pea soup for lunch. Alright. There we go. That's everything. And some stock. Waffles knocked this over earlier, so we'll see how much is left. Now I am going to add water in. That's going to soak into the potatoes along with the stock and also evaporate. But I want plenty of stock in there to start with so that the water is really just what's evaporating. Hi, baby. Did you hear me say your name? Yeah. Okay, give me a minute, sweetheart. Okay. So I want potatoes covered with stock. Leftover stock goes in the fridge. Okay. I want all of these potatoes to be evenly coated with oil. So before too much absorbs into the potatoes or coats and cooks along one edge, I want to stir them up pretty well. Oh, they smell so good. Okay. So we're going to let those cook. And then we're going to go ahead and put this guy on the burner. And we will turn the lower burner with the potato soup on to medium high and get a lid for it. All right. Ooh, we are getting these potatoes nice and crispy. And I see we've got a nice boil going on our potato soup over here. I'm going to go ahead and add some water to that. Okay. Let that heat back up. So I want this. These potatoes are pretty much cooked, but they're not disintegrating as fast as the russets usually do. So I'm going to speed it along by smushing these yellow potatoes with my fork. Ooh, these guys are pretty much done. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and turn that burner off back there and smush these potatoes so that they can disintegrate a little bit faster. So I want to get those ones in there, but I don't want to get them in there until I can really tell them apart from the potatoes that I put in raw. These ones are essentially just boiled with broth. And I do like that starchiness to get into my broth. All right, so that should be good. I'm gonna scrape my pan, so let's just scrape my fork. Okay, mix that up. All right, that looks delightful. And we're gonna pour the cooked potatoes in. All right, now the potato soup is done. And I'm gonna pair this with a tofu lettuce tomato sandwich. And I'll go ahead and link the recipe for that one in the description below. I found a fantastic creator on YouTube who made some really delicious vegan meals. So we're going to go ahead and try out her tofu lettuce tomato sandwich. And I'm so excited because I wanted it with this soup ever since I first saw the video. So check out her below.